Hi everyone, my name is Eliza and this is Eliza's Bookshelf. Today I'm going to do the Fantasy Romance Readers tag. This tag was created by Hannah Blackwell. I'll link her channel down below, but I was tagged by Daphne. She and a whole bunch of collaborators were doing this tag together, and I'm so excited because I love fantasy romance. It's one of my favorite genres, and I read a lot of romance, I read a lot of fantasy romance, but honestly there's just like a few select favorites of mine that I will gush over all the time. So hopefully with all these questions, I'm not just talking about ACOTAR or from Blood and Ash, but we'll see. I have the questions here. I think it's a set of 12 questions. So let's go over it one by one. What book got you into fantasy romance for the first time? And I was thinking back to way back when, because I didn't read this obsessively until my son was born. That was back in 2018, and that was when I got back into reading a lot and series and fantasy and stuff like that. But I was thinking about these two series that I read that got me back into like fantasy romance. I ended up picking one of them over the other, if I can find it here, because I mean, a Raven Boy series, I feel like although there is the premise of, you know, you have this girl named Blue and then the curse or the story goes, whoever she kisses for the first time will die. So that's like the premise, but I don't think it was that like heavy on the romance. There was a lot of other stuff going on and a lot of freaky things that I thought was cool. So that's one of my favorite series, but I think this one was more on the fantasy romance side, maybe more emphasis on science fiction, but I'm gonna include it anyways, and it is the Cinder series. Oh man, I still have this Target sticker on it. I'm pretty sure it'll be like super stuck on. Oh yeah, no wonder it's still on there because I tried taking it off before and it's just got all sticky. But anyways, Cinder. It was classified as like YA fantasy with heavy elements of science fiction, and I'm gonna say there's romance involved because it comes with like four main books, and there's novellas here and there. There's Cinder, Scarlet, Cress, and Winter, and every book follows like a different couple, so it's so cute. Each one is a fairy tale retelling, so I thought it was so cool. Obviously this one is a Cinderella retelling. Instead of like losing some sort of slipper, she's like a cyborg. She has one of her foot's like a robotic type of thing. Anyway, so 17-year-old Cinder is a gifted mechanic and is a cyborg. She's a second-class citizen with a mysterious past and is reviled by her stepmother. But when her life becomes intertwined with a handsome Prince Kai's, she suddenly finds herself at the center of an intergalactic struggle and a forbidden attraction. Caught between duty and freedom, loyalty and betrayal, she must uncover secrets about her past in order to protect her world's future. Because there's something unusual going on about Cinder, something that others would kill for. Honestly, I need to do a reread of this entire series. They were so good. I think I remember liking Cinder the most out of all of them, and then I really like Scarlet. Yeah, I think the first two were my favorite, but overall, like the whole storyline ties up together and all of the characters come together as one. Oh my gosh, I can't rave about this enough, but I bought the Fairy Loot edition in January. It was supposed to ship already and be delivered already, but they sent an email saying it's going to be delivered or shipped late May, and it's already late May, so who knows when I'll get it. But once I get it, I may do like another a reread of the series. Let me know if you want to read with me. I love it so much. Okay, so that's number one. Number two, if you could pick one fantasy world to move to for the rest of your life, which world would you move to? I was thinking about all these, right? And I feel like I'm such a big chicken that I would not survive in any of these worlds. Like I was thinking about Throne of Glass world, ACOTAR from Blood and Ash, Fourth Wing. I think I would just die. I would be like, I don't know, I would not survive. I would be one of the secondary characters just hiding about. But so for this question, I picked Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies. So for this book, Emily Wilde is basically a historian or something like that, right? And she is putting together her book, her Encyclopedia of Fairies, and documenting everything. And she is having to go to this one area of the world where she needs to document like the last type of fairies that no one really knows about. And so I feel like in here, humans and fairies kind of like just coexist together. If you don't bother them, they won't bother you. If you don't go bothering this crazy tree that is actually another like fairy inside of it, it won't go attacking you. So I feel like in this world I would be a little bit safer than the other ones, so that's why I picked this one. This book is so cute. So I have the UK edition and I have the US edition too, and the US edition is like a naked hardcover. It's so pretty. It's not like anything special or anything. It's just like our edition. And I'm so excited for book 2. Ooh, I recently got approved for the NetGalley for book 2. I am so excited to get started with that one. Okay, so number 3. If you could marry one bookish hero or heroine, who would it be? Everyone has like some sort of baggage, I feel like. Let's see. Who do I like? I mean, I love Cassian from A Court of Silver Flames. I might pick him. Castile started off with a lot of lies. But he's cool. I don't know. And then you have Xaden. Also started off with a lot of lies there. Rowan is pretty cool. Maybe I would pick Rowan. For this one, I might pick Rowan from the Throne of Glass series. This one is my favorite in the series, Heir of Fire. This is where we are introduced to Rowan. He is my favorite. You know, when they met, they were like big enemies. They hated each other. They were fighting, you know, training, but really beating each other up. But after that, they had like some sort of understanding that they have their own secrets and their own traumas and history and stuff like that. So they like try to give each other a better time and more understanding, and they become like friends. So I guess it's like a friends, well, enemies to friends to lovers type of thing. But I love Rowan. He's like my OG book boyfriend. I think I would pick him. If you could be one fantasy creature, magical being, what would you be? Initially I thought dragon because I'm in this big fourth wing mood 24/7, but I was like, I don't know if I'd actually want to be a dragon. I might want to be a shapeshifter, someone who can just change into different animals but still have this human body. So I recently read A Taste of Poison, and this one was so cute and very funny. The banter was so good, but the person in here, the male main character, is a shapeshifter and can change into a bear. So A Taste of Poison, I talked about this in my April wrap-up, I believe. Yeah, my April wrap-up, but I do want to show you guys these books because they're so pretty, and they finally came in the mail. So I think The Taste of Poison is like book number 4 or something like that. I honestly don't know. But the first one is Curse of the Wolf King, and the hardcovers are just so pretty. I think the author herself designed these books, so it's like a naked hardcover. Well, let me just remove the whole thing then. It's just these books feel like they're so well made. The weight of the paper is just so heavy. But yeah, this is her art, and this is the back of the book. It's so pretty. That is Curse of the Wolf King, and I think this is a Beauty and the Beast. Yeah, Beauty and the Beast retelling. The second one is a Cinderella retelling, Heart of the Raven Prince, and I'll show you the naked hardcover as well. And oh, so cute. Look at that. And this is the back. So nice. The cover is like a nice matte feel. And so these 3 books I have not read yet. You can read these as standalones because they follow different characters. So, and then I want to show you Kiss of the Selkie, which is a Little Mermaid retelling. Let's see here. I can just pull it out. So nice, huh? And look at the back. Cool. So this is Little Mermaid, and book number 5 is coming out soon, June 30th. I forgot what type of retelling that is, but she has like the author herself. Her name is Tassonja Adet, the author. I follow her on Instagram, and she's been showing us a lot of quotes from the book, and I'm so excited for it. It's so funny because she just said that she finished the draft, or like the final draft, whatever, and it's already coming out next month. So I don't know how she just works so quickly. But anyways, yeah, I just wanted to show you guys that because I didn't last time. I might show you guys again with my book haul, but who knows. If you could kill one fantasy romance character, who would you kill off? Oh my gosh. I know the answer to this one. Might be a little bit spoilery, so I won't say much. I'll just say Dane. I won't even say what book because I don't want to spoil it. But Dane, I do not like this person right now, and so I would kill him off. But who knows? Maybe he will redeem himself. Who knows? Who knows? Okay, so let's see. Number 6. What fantasy romance character do you truly believe would be your in real life best friend? Oh goodness. I think, okay, sorry, I am talking about Sarah J. Maas so much, but it would be Aelin from Throne of Glass, or what is her name? Selena. Anyways, I picked her because she is just, I mean, once you get into the series a little bit, like her life becomes crazy. She's like this crazy assassin. She has to fight all these like bad guys and stuff like that. And it gets very dramatic and very, very serious. But if you don't remember, she, in the beginning when it didn't get so, you know, life or death situations here, all she really likes to do is eat chocolate cake and read books. And that's what I like. I love desserts. I love reading books. That's all I like. So she would really be my in real life best friend. And I'm really helpless. She'll protect me. All right, so let's see. What would be your fantasy weapon of choice? Oh my gosh. I would love to be, you know, very badass and stuff like that. But honestly, I feel like I would want a weapon where I can just shoot from afar. So maybe like a bow and arrow so I can keep the bad guys really far away from me, you know? Like, don't touch me. I don't want to die. Which my husband and I did do a class where we shot a bow and arrow, and I did pretty well, if I remember correctly. No, I don't remember anything about that. Who is the sexiest fantasy character of all time? Fantasy romance character. I just read this book, and I don't think people think romance fantasy when they think about this book, but there's like a little small, very, very small romance storyline in there, so I'm just gonna include this anyways. Bam, Jade City. I pick Hilo. Initially, I thought his name was pronounced Hilo, but it's Hilo. And so I think he is so sexy because he's just like very protective with everyone he loves. And, you know, no matter if it's his girlfriend or his family, he's just very protective and would do anything to, you know, save them or, you know, have the best for them. And so that shows with his girlfriend Wen. Was it Wen? Yeah, Wen, and his family. And oh my gosh, I just love him. And he's very like matter of fact, you know. People say he's like blunt or very abrasive or aggressive. I don't know. He is the Horn, which is like the leader of the military. Oh my god, I'm so bad. So let me tell you about this book, okay? So Jade City. Did I tell you guys about any of these books? Anyways, Jade City, you have this island of Kakan, and in this island there are people who are Kakanese, and they have the power to manifest abilities from jade. They have to hold it, they have to wear it, touch it, whatever, right? But if they do that, they can have certain powers, like power of perception, strength, you know, quickness. There's specific names to these powers. There's like 6 of them in total, but there's like some things going on with different clans on this island, and they're all like fighting for power and stuff like that. So that's the premise of this whole book, right? And then one of the clans is run by like the Call family, and the Call siblings, you have Hilo, you have Lan, you have Shay. And Hilo is like the leader of the military group of the clan, and so he's named a Horn. Under him you have like the fists and the fingers and stuff like that. It's a whole big great world in here, and I love it. But Hilo he's just so great and protective with his family, his loved ones. I love him. So I pick him for the sexiest fantasy romance character of all time. Number 9, pick one fantasy romance book to burn. I don't know. Only one really came to mind, because even when I read fantasy romance books and they're just okay, that's fine. But only one book I read where I was like, man, I'm really bored with this series and I just don't know what all the hullabaloo is about. And unfortunately, the book I would pick is Guild, or like the whole series. I think I made it to 3 books in the series and I just never, you know, continued, because I was like, all right, I'm just not enjoying it at this point. I'll just stop. But I think it's like 5 books now. Anyways, it's the Plated Prisoner series. It's a King Midas retelling, but I don't know. Maybe it was just so hyped up with, you know, everyone I see reviewing it, giving it, you know, 5 stars, 10 stars, whatever. And maybe I was expecting more, but I just thought it was very boring. I could not fall in love with the characters. I don't know. So that's when I would want to burn. And I feel like in my head, I already forgot about it. Like all the details, meh. I don't know anything that happened. All I remember is that I was so bored. But okay, let's get back to it. That's number 9. Number 10. You could choose one fantasy romance book. It's the only book you will ever be able to read again. What is it? Oh, here it is. Okay. So it is A Court of Silver Flames. And oh my gosh, I've read like every single one of Sarah J. Maas's books. And even though I read the ACOTAR series first, in general, I love Throne of Glass series the best out of all of her series. But this one I picked because it is a standalone. Well, I don't know, there's gonna be more, right? But I feel like you can read this as a standalone. I did not read the first 3 before or 4. There's a little novella in there. I did not read the first books before reading this, and I felt like I could pick up everything. And their story wraps up pretty well in this. And then the next few books I think is gonna be following other people. So I feel like this can be read as a standalone. I mean, actually, you know what? Scratch that. I feel like you do have to know a lot about like the past and stuff. So what I'm trying to say is that I feel like I don't have to read the other 3 again, and I can just pick up this one, but it is a thick book, so it will keep me entertained. Oh my gosh, 750 pages? This is so big. Ugh. But I enjoyed this one. I feel like her Crescent City book, it's like big, and it did not have to be that big. I was bored with that one. But this one is following Cassian and Nesta. This really redeemed Nesta in my eyes for me. I feel like the first few books, I thought she was just like really grumpy older sister, but I liked her in this one. I actually love her more than Feyre right now. I am definitely due for a reread. All I really remember is that there's a bunch of stairs. Maybe like 50% of this book is about stairs. So Nesta is training and she meets 2 other girls and becomes best buddies with them. I really like their friendship dynamic. Cassian is like training them, and I don't know, she like climbs stairs forever and ever to deal with her emotions. I don't know. I remember really loving this book. Okay, so that one I would read forever and ever if I only had one book. Let's see. 11. If you could recommend one fantasy romance book to a reader that was new to the genre and wanted to try it out, what would it be? Surprise, surprise, Fourth Wing. I would choose this one because it is a first of a series. So you can just get started now and, you know, join the hullabaloo, and the next one comes out in November. But also because fantasy romance blended into one book, this has both elements done extremely well. Like the fantasy, the world, you know, the dragons, the magic, it was so great that if it did not have the romance aspect, I would still be so in love with this world. And the romance part, like it's very slow burn, enemies to lovers, but like not in an annoying way, in a way that I, you know, can't wait or like I'm anticipating what is happening next. And there's a little bit of a love triangle there, but it wasn't bad. You already knew who she was going to end up with because it's marketed as enemies to lovers, but I loved it so much. Anyways, so I would recommend this one. If you haven't seen my like quote unquote review on it, I'll link it down below, but I just put quotes because I'm really bad at reviews. It's bad. So yeah, I guess that's all of the questions. The last one, number 12, was really just tag some friends. But if you love fantasy romance and you have some recommendations you want to show us, go ahead and do this tag and just let me know if you did do it. Thank you so much, Daphne, for tagging me in this. Thanks, Hannah Blackwell, for creating this cool tag. Hopefully I've introduced you guys to some new things, but honestly, these books are pretty popular, so I think I'm just like a basic bitch when it comes to fantasy romance. Like I read a lot. I was going through my shelves and I had a lot of fantasy romance books up here too, and my upstairs bedroom. These ones are just ones that are ingrained in my head forever. Daniel Jensen's books are really good. What's her name? Like something St. Clair. What's her name? Anyways, I'll put it here somewhere. And then another one from K.A. Tucker. She recently came into like the romance fantasy world. She initially wrote just romance, contemporary romance in general, and her book's really good, but she delved into fantasy romance and I thought it was good. But yeah, I mean, I guess these are all books that are my top time favorites, so I always talk about them. Anyways, thank you so much for watching this tag. I will see you next time. Bye.